Pretty nasty, as you can see.
Not nice. They never are. Have you got the other one?
Sorry, burned it.
Pity.
Perhaps I should have done the same with that.
Possibly. General, I have to ask you a rather unpleasant question. Don't I?
Yes, I was waiting for you to get around to it.
That's the trouble with poison pen letters. They always do raise the question.
It's an outrageous suggestion.
You want us to investigate?
Is that what you would suggest?
Well, this amounts to publishing a libel. However, I don't think a police inquiry would serve the public interest.
Are you trying to tell me that there might be...
Police activity could stir up a lot of mud and lead nowhere. That's what I'm saying.
I should have chucked that in the bar.
That wouldn't necessarily have been a solution.
No.
There is one thing you could do.
I act for the Chancellor, Mr. Marker, who is, as I'm sure you know, the law officer of the diocese. Sandwich?
No, I didn't know. No, thank you.
Oh. Egg and cress. Splendid. You're sure you will?
Quite sure, thanks.
Oh. Always tell the true worth of an hotel by its sandwiches.
Really?
Oh, most certainly. These days, the cooking is all the same. Polystyrene with a white sauce, those damn button mushrooms, you know. But a really decent sandwich. Now, that's an enduring art.
I'll take your word for it, thank you. Dear General, I think you should know. Personally seen him doing so. Quite disgusting. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's not very nice, is it?
Scurrilous.
Who is this General?
Major General Felcourt. He's a church warden.
Why come to me?
But you're an inquiry agent, Hans.
A bit out of my line, but rich, you know what I mean?
Well, honestly, I don't.
Well, people come to me to find someone, discover something. I'm hired to look under stones.
Just what I'm asking.
No, Mr. Porphy, what you're asking is evidence leading to a prosecution. That's police business, isn't it?
And the Chancellor isn't interested in the prosecution.
What then?
This is a matter of scandal, Mr. Barker, and the Church abhors scandal. And we want to put a stop to it. Well, this kind of odious thing.
Police inquiries might do that.
Possibly, or possibly lead to unwanted publicity. We have, talked to the police.
Oh.
Your name came up.
What it is to be known to the police. But they can be discreet, you know, when they want to be.
I've no doubt. It's not just a question of publicity. It's also a matter of being able to call a halt when one wants to. Do you follow my meaning, Mr. Marker?
I see it, yes.
Confident you would. Do try a sandwich before they all go.
Thank you.
Frightfully good, aren't they?
Frankly.
Now, your fee?
It's £6.50 per day.
Yes, fine. And expenses, of course. Probably a week should do it. Region of £40, good value.
Mr. Porphy, I'm still not quite sure exactly what it is you're asking.
Talk to people, find out the feelings, the passions. Sure, you know the kind of thing. Keep me posted. Here's my card. Vickers, a comparative newcomer. Came from an industrial parish near Doncaster. Rather progressive chap, I'm told.
I'll put the kettle on. Expect you'd like some tea.
Yes, if you're making some.
Well, you did come for tea. Didn't you?
Oh, it's you.
Is he?
Does it look like it? A cup of tea?
No, thanks. I've just had one with a solicitor friend of yours, as a matter of fact. Him.
Mr. Peter Palfrey. I've never met him.
I see.
Look, I said I've never met him. Spoken on the phone, that's all.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter.
You sound a bit defensive.
You can stop analysing me.
Sorry.
It was, left in the cells.
Where else? Thanks for the good word.
What?
What's the real reason you passed him on to me?
Don't get you.
Palfrey gave me two good reasons why this wasn't a police job. A, it would cause a stir. B, it might uncover things.
What's the difficulty?
I don't accept them.
Why not?
Anybody, including me, going around asking questions is bound to stir things up. So why not use the police? They'll do it for free. Anyway, if you find something odd, you don't have to make anything out of it.
Are you suggesting that police inquiries are not necessarily impartial?
It has been known.
You've got a cheek coming in here saying things like that.
So tell me why I've copped this one.
The complainant is Major General Felcourt. He's received 2 letters alleging sexual impropriety against the vicar of his parish.
Yes, I know. I've seen one of the letters.
Well, the vicar's a newcomer with new ways. There's a lot of feeling.
There's always plenty of that.
The faithful are divided, pro and anti-vicar.
Sounds very nice.
The old Reverend Bastable, chap who died, was very well liked in the village. Pratt goes down better on the new estate. Amongst the workers, as the saying goes.
Oh, a class thing?
To some extent. There's also trouble in the parochial church council over domestic issues.
Oh, what domestic issues?
Well, running the church, that sort of thing.
How do you know all this?
My Gwen arranges the flowers.
Oh, a bit close to home. Is that the reason?
No, she's not that involved. It's Felcourt. They tell you he's a church warden?
Yes, they did.
Well, he's also on the bench, a JP.
Ah, the establishment looking after its own, is it?
I wish you wouldn't be so cynical about everything, Frank.
Sorry, must be the company I keep.
Justice must be very plainly seen to be done. Thank you. Better if an outsider took a look. If there's nothing, that's okay. If there is, then it's the church's pigeon.
Very nice hand-washing job, Percy. I like that.
I know it's a strange role for you, an instrument of justice. Well, then you better get started. Oh, and don't let me know how you get on, Frank, will you?
No, General, he isn't. This is Valerie Pratt. Can I help? Well, not long. About 6, I should say. Yes, I should think that'd be all right. In here!
Smells good.
Hot pot. You've just missed the General
Oh, physically or telephonically?
on the telephone.
What did he want?
I don't know, but he sounded cross. He's coming round at 6.
Old goat. What's he complaining about now? Do you want yours in here?
Yes, please.
The convener down at Mercer's factory is joining the group. How about that, then?
He's an atheist.
I think we've got the degree of his disbelief down to plain agnosticism.
Christian socialism in the home counties.
Well, if it's not a new Rochdale, it's one small step.
Your predecessor wouldn't like it much.
Oh, I should think the Reverend Bastable is turning in his grave. I'll be in my study.
Victor Fortescue Fell Court, born 1914, Hawkesbury House, Hawkesbury Bucks, Major General, retired Army, 1964, farmer. William Percival Pratt, St. A. Zeph's Vicarage, Farley, near Doncaster, University of London, B.A. 1955, ordained deacon 1956, ordained priest 1957.
Good evening, Mr. Bell. I wonder, might I see your husband?
Yes, he came in just after.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Oh, good evening, General. Do sit down.
Now, I am a reasonable chap, and I am quite prepared to allow a new man different ways. I do not think everything old is necessarily good. But I'm not going
I'm
to...
sorry, but please sit down. If there's a problem, we'll discuss it.
No.
What's the problem?
My great-aunt left that picture to the church.
Do we have to go into all that again now?
Would you please allow me to finish? She left it on condition it was hung by her pew, a condition accepted by the incumbent and the church council of the time.
That is perfectly true, but I cannot believe that it was meant to go on forever.
Now, quite apart from legal considerations, she has a right to have her wishes respected. This church was once in the gift of my family.
Yes, but I do not accept that ancient privilege should hang around the neck of future generations like an albatross.
Ancient privilege kept this church in good repair for 300 years.
Yes, well, that's a wee bit remote, forgive me for saying so. The parish has changed a lot, even in the last 10 years. And considering what else have we done with our funds, we're not as well off as in your great-aunt's day.
I will not have you suggesting...
I am suggesting that your great-aunt can't have meant to impoverish the parish.
That is an abominable thing for you to say.
I don't mean to be offensive, General, but the insurance has to come out of income. And that means out of the plate, the actual plate. Do you understand? Kids' pennies get spent so that you can rejoice in the magnanimity of your family. I rate that a millstone, not a bequest.
Unless that picture is immediately replaced in the church where it belongs, I shall seek legal remedies with the diocesan authorities.
Hello, Fred. Frank Marker here. Fine, thanks. You've got a car for a couple of days? Yeah, that'll do. How much is it? It's gone up a bit, isn't it? No, all right, I'll take it. Yeah, about the middle of the morning. Bye.
What did the General want? What's the matter, Bill?
Val, has Alice been here?
Oh. Oh, not that again.
Yes? Oh, good morning. General Felcourt?
No.
Well, is he in, do you think?
What do you want?
Well, I rather wanted to see him. If that's all right.
Come in. Name?
Mark, but it won't mean anything.
Oh, on the contrary. Marker. Notary, perhaps, from the Old English mercere. On the other hand, conceivably the name derives from merc.
What would that mean?
Dweller by the boundary.
What boundary?
Oh, how should I know? Go in there, will you? You wish to see me?
Oh, yes. Nice warm fire.
I should take off your raincoat.
Thank you.
Do sit down.
Thank you. You farm, do you, sir?
Couple of 100 acres, yes.
Oh, very nice. Mr. Peter Porphyry asked me to look into a certain matter.
Yes. Here we are.
Thank you. Oh, yes, I've seen a copy of this. Can I hang on to this for a while?
Please.
Have you any views yourself about who wrote it?
How could I?
Oh, it's in capital letters. Suggests that you or somebody who might show it to might recognize that person's normal handwriting, isn't it?
Yes, but no, I don't have any idea.
Is it true what it says?
It's an appalling allegation.
Yes, but is it true?
I can't really discuss that. I think it would be most improper.
But, General, if the vicar is having women all over the place, as the letter suggests, it would be a fact and a matter of common knowledge. Wouldn't be a job in it. If it's untrue, that's quite a different matter. But I have to know.
I believe he is attractive to women.
What leads you to believe that?
Well, I have observed interest.
A fluttering among the hens?
Bit farmyard, isn't it?
That's what it amounts to, though.
Yes.
He's new to the parish, isn't he?
Fairly.
I'm told that there's a certain amount of disharmony in the way the church is run. Is that true?
I'm not quite with you.
Oh, come on, sir. I can't do it all by myself.
Well, we don't see eye to eye in quite the same way as with his predecessor.
What, doctrinaire issues?
Doctrine? No. Much more prosaic. Church upkeep, voluntary activities, that sort of thing.
Can you be more precise?
Is it relevant?
It might help me to understand, yes.
Oh, very well. This church was built to serve the village. Several of my ancestors held the living. It was the centre of a rural community, together with the Felcourt Arms. Since the war, a new estate, a new industrial estate, has changed a lot of things. Now, it's felt that the vicar is more interested in the estate than in us.
Yes, I'm told he is rather progressive.
Well, that makes us sound like a lot of reactionaries, and we're not.
In what way is he more interested in the estate?
Mercer's Precision have a big plant here.
Oh, yes, I must have passed that on the way up.
He spends a lot of time down there. Got himself appointed a sort of chaplain.
Ah, worker priest.
Different faith.
Any other cause of friction?
The churchyard.
Oh?
Yes, he wants to level the old graves, grass it all over.
Why?
Less upkeep. Says he doesn't believe in ancestor worship.
I suppose that depends upon whether or not you've got any ancestors there.
Yes, well, I have.
Anything else?
A rather personal disagreement.
Yes.
My great-aunt left a valuable picture to the church. He wants to sell it.
Why?
Raise funds for his Workers in the Cause of Christ group.
Oh, can he do that?
Well, he sought leave from the Chancellor of the Diocese to do so. It was denied.
And how does that leave your relationship?
Well, we have to work together.
The police say that there were 2 letters.
Yes. The first one I destroyed.
Why didn't you do the same with this one?
Well, I thought of doing so, but I decided it had to be looked into. You really can't have that sort of thing.
Oh, because of the scandal?
Precisely.
Only because of the scandal?
Now, look here. Cobden, I wonder if you wouldn't
It's all right,
mind...
General, I have to go. I have some other people to see. You've got my card. Please ring if anything occurs to you.
A most distressing business.
You look like a dweller by the boundary.
You know, you've got my name, but I haven't got yours.
Oh, this is my brother, Cobden.
Ah, how do you do? Well, thank you for your help, sir.
What is your next step?
Go see the vicar, I think.
Well, you're not going to show him that letter.
Oh, I think I have to. It is about him, after all. Morning.
Were you wanting the vicar?
Yes.
Oh, he's out, I'm afraid.
Ah. Oh, dear, what a pity I've come all the way from Windsor.
Oh, why don't you come in and wait? I shouldn't think you'll be very long.
Thank you. Hello, my lad.
Lass.
Oh,
Gabrielle.
sorry.
Come on. Give me a go. That's it. I'll just take Gabby upstairs. Oh, if you don't mind the kitchen, you might find it cosier in there. Come on, Gabby. Oh, don't get up. Oh, it's a bit functional, but it's such a place to try and keep warm.
Yes, it is a big house.
Victorian vicarages were intended for large, one could say huge families. Oh, thanks for bringing in the shopping.
How much? You've been here long?
Only a year.
You like hot spring?
Yes and no.
Oh, it's a bit of a qualified answer.
Well, it's not a comfortable place.
Not comfortable.
It's a place of extremes, really. The old vicarage and the new estate. There's no meeting point.
Yeah, but surely you, as parson's wife, must fit into both.
Or neither.
Sounds a bit defeatist.
Realistic.
Where were you before, Mrs. Smith?
Near Doncaster. I'll put the kettle on. I expect you'd like some coffee.
Oh, yes, thank you.
We haven't met, have we?
No, I don't think so.
I don't get over to Windsor much. The buses aren't good, and it's not easy with a small child.
No, I know what you mean.
You've got one?
No, I mean, I can guess.
Making coffee. You've got a visitor.
Ah, good morning.
Good morning. Frank Marker, I was wondering if we could have a brief chat.
Yeah, surely. Let's go into my study.
Thank you.
I'll bring the coffee.
Good. It's a dingy place, this. It reminds me of my first school.
I believe they've changed all that.
Yes, thank God. Go in, will you?
Yep.
It's not very comfortable, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's fine. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Mr. Marker?
I'm an inquiry agent working for the Chancellor of the Diocese. Some anonymous letters have been brought to his notice and he's asked me to look into them.
What sort of letters?
Well, the only one I've seen accuses you of adultery.
Have you got it?
Yes.
Show it me, please.
No.
And why the hell not?
Well, it wouldn't tell you anything. The handwriting's disguised, and at this stage I prefer not to disclose the recipient.
Some well-wisher.
Perhaps, yes.
Yes. Well, what do we talk about?
Is it true?
You've got an incredible neck.
No, I just want to be sure of the facts, that's all. Don't want to waste my time.
I'd like to see some proof of your authority.
That's the solicitor who engaged me. You can give him a ring if you like.
No, I'll take your word.
Thank you.
No, I'm not an adulterer.
I put 2 lumps in the saucer, Mr. Marker.
Oh, thank you.
That information assist you?
It is a fact in a sea of conjecture.
Nicely put.
You got any ideas?
No, not really.
Not really. That's a bit equivocal, isn't it?
Well, a lot of people resent me and would like to see me gone. But I can't think of anyone who would do this.
Oh, why do people resent you?
Well, I don't believe that clothes make the man. I don't need to wear a dog collar to carry out my pastoral duties.
Better off without it. I'm at Mercer's Engineering Works. Easier to be one of the lads.
Oh, that wasn't meant to be snide.
Oh, no, no. It's just the unconventional gear is just a symbol, isn't that it?
Yes.
You're a nonconformist in dress only.
Very astute. I'm a member of the Anglican Church, firmly. That's another fact in a sea of conjecture.
Is it? Well, you have disagreements with certain members of the parish church council.
I'm not the only person you call on, am I?
Oh, no.
Yes, well, the People's Warden and I do not agree on most things.
People's Warden.
Yes, there are two, the People's Warden and the Vicar's Warden. Church wardens are officers of the bishop.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, so it's logical to presume that this affair has been notified to the bishop by one of them.
Very logical.
Yes. By the People's Warden, General Felcourt?
Honestly, Vicar, I don't think guessing is going to get us anywhere, do you?
No. Oh, it's a nasty business, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Who is the Vicar's Warden?
It's a man called Haynes.
Oh, well, perhaps I ought to go and have a word
I'm
with
quite
him.
against it.
Why?
Well, how would you like your name dragged through the mud?
I wouldn't.
And don't do it to mine.
But I'm not working for you.
That's a bit strong.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm sorry, but if what they say isn't true, surely you can live with it.
Others are affected. It isn't so easy for them.
Yes, I know it's a rotten business. Too rotten to ignore. I'm sorry about all this. I'll have to come and see you again. What's Mr. Haynes' address?
The new inn on the estate.
Thank you. I'll leave you my card. I'm told that you tried to dispose of a picture,
Certainly.
but you were prevented.
I shall try again. Good morning.
Thank you.
Who is that odd chap? Merck, dweller by boundary. What boundary? Obviously a settled community tilling the soil to have a boundary.
He's an inquiry agent.
No.
Colin, I do wish you would stop muttering. I can't do this adding up.
I need 10,000.
Well, I haven't got 10,000.
No, sell a bit of field.
I am not going to start selling land, damn it.
Half is mine.
Half is not yours, Cobden. Half the revenue is yours. It's a different thing.
Developers will pay a fortune.
No doubt they would, if they could get planning permission.
You've never seriously tried.
No, and I'm not going to start. If we stop farming this land, the local authority will put a compulsory purchase order on it. Well, I'd rather they had it for comprehensive development than job lottery for piecemeal building.
Well, I want the money.
What for?
Well, the
no,
main
no,
building-
no, I can guess.
The main building needs to be re-roofed, and we need more money for exhibits.
I should think very seriously of closing down that place. It's eating money.
There's great interest in it.
Oh, that may be. How many people actually paid to go in?
Well, not easy to get to.
Well, that's the whole trouble.
A rural crafts museum has to be in the country. What do you suggest?
I suggest you stop canvassing money from everyone you meet and go back to teaching.
You won't help.
You know, I can't.
One does have a duty to preserve the past.
Not at the expense of the present.
Then why not let the vicar sell Aunt Augusta's picture?
One has no right.
Why is that inquiry fellow want to see the vicar?
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, why aren't you
Now,
going
do please shut up a moment, Cobden, and let me get on with this article about swine fever.
There. There we are. Okay.
I shall have to go to London.
Alice.
Yes.
What a bloody nuisance she is.
Yes, but it doesn't help saying it, does it?
Sorry. What is it this time?
Well, it could be one of several things. Or all of them.
That might soften his heart. It didn't. He didn't give you the money. No. But I did get stuck with the name. It's a slightly sort of embarrassing thing because I remember...
Oh, Mrs. Haynes,
That's right.
I'm looking for the church ward.
Oh, well, my husband, he's not here. What did you want, love?
Well, it was something to do with church affairs, actually.
Oh, well, I'm afraid he's at court.
Oh, dear, nothing serious, I hope.
Oh, no, just opposing a license application.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll come back.
No, come in a moment.
Well, I don't want to bother you.
Won't be a bother.
And what strikes me now about you...
Join me in a quick one before we open.
Oh,
Why were you called that?
thanks very much.
Well, it was...
Sherry, scotch, gin?
Oh, sherry, please.
Do take your coat off.
Go.
Been lucky with the weather, haven't we?
We have, haven't we?
Hope we're not going to pay for it later.
Oh, I expect we will. Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers. Do sit down.
Sure.
What kind of thing did you want to see Harry about?
Well, general background information about the parish.
Who's it for?
The diocese, you know.
Well, if it's not too technical, I could probably help.
Oh, that's very kind. Yeah, this is very good.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Running a pub, I expect you know just about everything that goes on, don't you?
Oh, yes. Mind you, if you believed half what you hear.
Of course, there aren't very many pubs out here, are there?
Oh, well, there's a couple down the road. One in the new town itself, and the Felcourt Arms, of course.
Ah, but that's in the village.
Practically have to be in Debrett's to get a drink in there.
How are you off for churches?
Let's see, there's one in the old village itself, Congregationalist in Green Street, and a Catholic church down the road.
You and your husband always been keen churchgoers, have you?
Well, Harry has, but, well, not me. I don't really get the time, do I?
No, I suppose not.
Not that I lack for spiritual guidance.
Oh,
Vicar's always here.
really?
Uses our big upstairs room as a weekly discussion meeting.
People from the factories, eh?
Oh, he's a real goer, Bill.
Active man, huh?
I should say so. The old chap before him, he didn't know what day it was.
Oh, well, he must be very popular, mustn't he?
He is very. Of course, some of the old folk in the village might have preferred one of the old type, mind you.
But you yourself like him?
Oh, he's lovely. But as I say, my dealings with him are strictly social. Look, let me top that up for you.
Oh, no thanks, I must go. Perhaps your husband will be here tomorrow.
Oh, sure to be.
you, Dad?
Oh, not too bad. Didn't expect to see you, though.
No. How is she?
Oh, same.
How could I see her?
Yes, if you want to.
The same room?
Yeah.
It's Bill. Can I come in?
Bill,
Alice, can I come in?
if you want.
Well, how are you, Alice?
Do I know you?
Well, you look well.
I'm not having the radio back.
Now, nobody's insisting that you do.
I know what's happening.
Do you ever get out much, Alice?
I went to Broadcasting House. I asked to speak to the announcer.
When did you go?
Last week. I started out by underground.
Anywhere else?
Why are you asking?
Alice, do you remember up at Doncaster? You took all the ornaments from the church one day?
I draw, you know. Do drawings. They're quite good, see?
Ah, yes. Do you remember Doncaster?
I remember Doncaster very well.
Do you know where I live now? Have you been to see me?
Of course, it's difficult to convey one's sense of outrage when it isn't actually words that are used.
I must go now. I thought you might like these. Goodbye, Alice. Sure, she'd be far better off somewhere.
Happy you're here.
But she's worse.
Well, it's our cross, and we must bear it.
Does she get out much?
No. Oh, the park. Sometimes the shops. They know her.
She hasn't been to Hawkesbury, has she?
I don't know.
Does she send letters to people?
Don't think so.
It's rather a wasted journey.
Oh, I don't know. After all, she saw you.
Yes.
Cup of tea.
No, I have to get back. Thanks. Bye.
Mr. Porphyry? What are you doing here?
I was seeing an aunt of mine in Maidenhead, of whom I have expectations, do you see? And so, having sufficiently buttered her up, I thought I'd come on here.
Oh, yeah, well, sit down, sit down. I once had expectations from an aunt in Tooting.
Satisfactorily realised, I hope.
A pianola and 40 rolls of music suitable for Sunday evenings in the front parlour.
A period piece?
She certainly was. Can I give you a cup of coffee? The kettle won't take long.
No, really, I've had something.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do you a sandwich or anything fancy like that, but there might be a ginger nut.
Okay, hand it over.
I was just typing out a report to you.
Sounds interesting.
It isn't.
Well?
No, I don't think I'm going to cost you anything like £40.
Really?
No, there isn't a week's work in it.
You mean you've reached some conclusion?
Oh, no. It's just that I'm not getting anywhere. I spent all day yesterday asking people questions, and the net result is the vicar's a good chap with a few problems. End of case.
Can I speak quite frankly?
I wish you would.
There is some discord in the parish.
Oh, yes, I gathered that.
It was in my mind that these letters, in some way or another, might be connected with that.
Beneath that blue pinstripe there beats a devious heart, Mr. Palfrey.
So, we are anxious to discover the degree and extent of that discord.
You need a management consultant for that kind of work.
No, Mr. Marker. We need a discreet and intelligent inquiry agent.
Thank you. End of testimonial.
I'm serious.
No, well, I tell you, it can sometimes be a very frustrating business. You spend lots of time asking questions, get absolutely nowhere.
Well, make your report as unfactual as you like.
Dead against my training.
I suppose it is.
I've got one more person to see, Mr. Haynes, the vicar's warden, and then I'm going to call it a day. Excuse me. 68219. Yes, it is. Oh, hello, Vicar. Yeah, well, I'm coming over to Hawkesbury later on. Yes. Yes, of course I will. Goodbye. Mr. Pratt has something to tell me. But what made you suspect your first wife?
Strictly she isn't. I obtained a degree of nullity.
Well, whatever she is.
Well, she once cleared the church at Doncaster of all the ornaments. She threw them in the dustbin. It just seemed possible that she'd taken the picture.
But why only the picture?
It just seemed to me that it might be part of the whole business of letters and so on.
Is it likely that she would write letters like that?
There's a strongly sexual element to her paranoia.
Yeah, but you've just come back from a visit. What do you think now?
I don't know. But I don't think so. I think she'd have said something if she had.
Yes, well, you'll have to tell the police.
And it's been hanging in the church since 1937.
It has.
Bit risky, wasn't it?
Oh, nothing has been taken from the church before. Why in the hell didn't Pat deny it when I accused him of removing it?
Because he thought he knew who'd done so.
Really?
Mm.
Who?
His first wife.
First wife? I'd no idea. God, what a mess.
Describe it for me, will you?
It's a cartoon.
Cartoon?
That means a design rather than a finished picture. In this case, a design for a tapestry.
And the subject of the design?
A Virgin and Child attributed to Rubens. My great-aunt found it in Paris before the First War. She was greatly taken by it. It used to hang in her bedroom. The old vicar, Bastable, admired it immensely, and Augusta willed it to the church. She insisted that it hang by her pew, and so it always did.
What size was it?
Oh, about 2 feet by 1 foot, not very big.
And it was insured for only $1,000.
Yes, it'll be worth many times that much now, though.
Why didn't you have it revalued?
It would have been difficult to find the additional premium. As it was, it cost £10 per annum.
Well, not that you'd get many insurers to give you much cover with it just hanging on the wall.
Well, the church is always locked.
The key under the mat, I suppose.
Yes.
Mr. Haynes, I called yesterday. You were out. I spoke to your wife.
Oh, yes. Come in, Mr.
Marker, thanks. Very brisk out there.
Yeah. My wife says you're conducting some sort of survey.
Yes, that's what I am, in a manner of speaking.
What's all this about?
I'm inquiry agent, and I'm inquiring into that. There was another one.
Do you mean someone actually takes this stuff seriously enough to employ a private detective?
But, well, don't you?
Good God, no. I just chuck him straight in the fire. It's a pity Felcourt hasn't got the sense to do the same.
Well, how many have you had?
3, maybe.
What were the postmarks?
Local.
All 3 of them were local, and you didn't think it important enough to do anything about it?
Well, what can you do? I mean, you're not going to find out who did it, are you?
Well, I'm supposed to be trying to, yes.
Best of luck.
I believe there was some trouble, too, about a picture, wasn't there?
Picture?
A painting bequeathed to the church.
Well, what's that got to do with this?
Oh, sorry, no, it's a different issue.
What exactly is this different issue?
Well, it's missing, the picture.
No, nonsense.
I'm sorry if it appears that way to you, Mr. Haynes, but believe me, it is.
No, you're misinformed. Felcourt's got it. Day before yesterday.
What?
In the afternoon. I saw him coming out of the church with it under his arm.
Did you speak to him?
Well, I asked him what he was doing. He said something about getting the frame gold-leafed.
Is it in order for him to do that?
Well, not strictly, no. But under the circumstances, it would have been difficult to stop him.
Yes, I suppose so. And you haven't seen the General since?
General? Oh, no. You misunderstood. No, it was his brother, that lunatic Cobden.
Lost it? I simply cannot accept what I'm hearing, Cobden.
Let me just recap for a moment, Mr. Felcourt. You removed the picture in the early afternoon. You caught the 3 o'clock train to Paddington, arriving at about 4:45. You went into the public lavatory with the picture and rested it against the wall. And you came out of the lavatory and got into a taxi, right?
Yes.
How long were you in the taxi before you realized you'd left the picture in the lavatory?
About 5 minutes.
And I suppose it took you another 5 minutes to get back to the station.
More. Got caught in the traffic.
Well, a quarter of an hour in all.
Probably.
What did you do next?
Went to the Lost Property Office.
You left your name and address?
Yes.
But no word since. Now, you've just told us that you took the picture in order to get an up-to-date valuation put on it.
Correct.
Your brother has just told us that that was not desired on account of the increased premium.
Wasn't for the insurance. Wished to find out its real worth and, if possible, obtain an offer for it.
But how was that possible? It wasn't yours to sell.
Cobden!
I thought if my brother saw how much we could get for it, he would remove his objections to the parish selling it.
But surely the proceeds would belong to the parish. How would that benefit you?
Quite sure my great-aunt would have approved of some of the money going to my museum.
Museum, Mr. Felcourt?
It's a barn full of old farming implements he's got in the back end of Berkshire.
Well, gentlemen, we'll see what we can do about tracing it. But if we can't, I've just an idea, Mr. Felcourt, that somebody's going to be after you for a fair bit of money.
Well, thank you, Inspector, for all your help.
All right, sir. You never know, it may turn up.
Cobden, sometimes I really wonder about you.
Splendid. Splendid.
Not much in the way of fact, I'm afraid.
Absolutely what was needed.
What action do you anticipate?
About the letters or the picture?
Or both?
We'll offer a reward for the picture. I'm sure we'll get it back. What did you say, sir, Inspector?
Well, it depends if whoever took it sees your offer. Post a notice on Paddington Station.
Good thought.
Are you going to prosecute the General's brother?
Good heavens, no.
He was going to flog it, you know.
I think we must regard that as a piece of eccentricity best overlooked.
Lucky for some.
Oh, now, come now, Inspector. His family have served the church well.
At least it's had the effect of reconciling the General and the Vicar.
Well, that can't be bad, can it?
No.
Splendid. Splendid. Now, try a saddle.
Right?
Yep.
Splendid.
Egg and Cress.
Jolly good.
What will you do if there are any more letters?
You don't consider there anything to do with the bad feeling in the parish?
No. They're too intense for just that. I think they're the work of some crank.
I think so, too.
Then there isn't much we can do.
You never know with cranks. Thank you. You can never outguess them. They wander through life with their private obsessions.
Thank you. I must say, I was rather impressed with that Vicar.
Hard worker. Keen as mustard. Perhaps lacking a little in wisdom.
A rare quality these days, wisdom.
These or any days.
Funny he never told anybody about his first wife.
I think he just wanted to forget her. The marriage was annulled, so in a sense she never existed.
But she did. You can't erase somebody on a technicality.
You're a humanist, Mr. Marker.
Not her, I suppose.
The letters?
No. She lives in North London. The letters were posted in Hawkesbury.
Thank you.